A lot of men don't know how to talk to girls. They lost that practice because they're always on the screen. And also
Using ChatGPT.
Huge one too, using ChatGPT. That's my number one
oh,
real
I
quick.
have a no, don't do this, boys. Don't use ChatGPT to talk to girls.
Yeah,
That's the worst
Because
thing.
I will catch you.
I know there's a lot of guys that are doing that. I find it like actually disgusting
Yeah.
and appalling. I don't like using ChatGPT to like be my words for me.
Yeah, and when you guys actually
disgusting.
date in person and you don't have ChatGPT by
Exactly.
your side, you're gonna be screwed.
Well, it's because you have no emotional intelligence and you're
Yes.
asking a robot to do it for you.
Yep.
Breath by the wheel.
What's good, baby?
It's all good, baby.
That's right.
We are here in Radio Room, which means we have a guest. We have the lovely Ashley Cantu with us. Let's give it up. Ashley Cantu, one of the most, I think, popular women in all of Austin,
really?
Texas.
For
I think
sure.
so. I think so.
Texas or Austin?
I can't
think
speak to
Austin.
all of Texas.
Well, I'm from Laredo, so and go to San Antonio, Houston. Somewhat.
Okay, you're covering Texas.
So you're definitely the most popular in Laredo. I can promise you
Yeah,
that.
for sure. Or I used to be. I left, and I'm ghost now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've certainly like built an awesome life for yourself here in Austin
Yes.
since you got here. We've been friends for a few years. We had dinner a few weeks ago. We thought we always have fun conversations.
Yes.
You're just fun in general. So we decided it'd be cool to have you on the podcast.
Thank you for
You just
having me.
Talk.
Of course, yeah. We're thrilled to have you here. Just have a conversation, but we thought it'd be fun if we were kind of like talking about dating do's and don'ts at the time. You had a list, a top 10 list, even though I think it's a little bit more than 10 at this point.
See,
And we wanted
one.
to, and we-
Plus
plus one bonus.
there's a bonus one for sure. And I like a lot of them. I have some questions about some of them, and we thought this would be a cool place to do it. But before we get into that, we just wanted to like ask about tell the audience about you, who you are, and I guess why you're sitting here today, maybe a little bit.
Well, it all started in 1993 when I was born.
Okay, wow.
We have an hour.
Wait, we have an hour.
We
sorry.
have more than 10 items to get
Okay,
to, so
Cut it. Fast forward.
Yeah.
Well, I was born in Laredo, Texas. It's a border town. It's a border town, small town, but it's like 98% Mexican. So basically, I'm in Mexico.
Yeah.
So because a lot of people are like, "Where are you from?" They think I'm from Mexico, but I was born in Texas. But that part is literally like Mexico. You can walk to Mexico, and it just like from there I grew up with like the culture, Mexican culture, very strict mom, with curfew rules, and like just taught me like about like what she knows. Like our parents tried our best, but it did give me trauma.
Of course.
It gave me trauma, but I didn't realize it because I'm young, right? I come from like divorced parents at 9 years old. Not the healthiest environment. My mom did her best with working as a full-time mom and also dad. My dad unfortunately left and didn't really provide child support, so she did the both roles. So yeah, I saw her work very hard and get where she's at right now, and I saw her suffer a lot. And as a kid, I was confused, but as I grew up, I started learning, and I was like, I never want to be in that spot. I never want to. We had money issues. She was so stressed, suicidal thoughts, and sorry, going deep,
No,
but I'm
no,
just
it's
going
okay.
straight
We
to the
wanna hear it.
point.
Yeah, we want to hear it.
But like, I was so young, and I was like, I never want to have money issues. I never want to have divorce. I never want to have a divorce. And like, there's two ways to go about it. You either you do the same steps as your parents or be the change. And I said, I'm gonna be the change. So what do I have to do? I have to literally unlearn things, heal. I had to go inward. And I did not know where do I go? I'm young. When you're young, you're young and dumb.
Yeah, of
So
course.
When did
Yeah.
you kind of make that decision? Like, what age were you when you're like, I don't want this path? Like you noticed it and were like, I don't want that for my future.
So maybe when I literally left Laredo because it was very toxic. It was like a Mexican culture. A lot of like all my friends also had those type of parents, very strict parents, and like machismo in the family. So very different from like American culture. And yeah, so I grew up with that. And once I left Laredo, I came to Austin. What brought me to Austin is the music industry.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I was
What year was that?
that was 2019.
Okay, cool.
So I was like, I had a boyfriend there that turned me into a techno head.
Really?
I was a techno head. Yeah.
In
And,
Laredo or in Austin?
I was in Laredo,
Okay.
and then like we will drive all the way to Austin because Laredo is so boring. There's
Yeah.
nothing to do. So on the weekends, we will like take advantage and come and drive here.
Cool. This is the
For a
place to be
show,
for that, that's for sure.
Music Kingdom used to be
Yeah.
like the old Kingdom. That's the OG. And which was the concourse managers now
Okay.
are not concourse.
Yeah.
And that was the place to be. It was pitch black. And you just forget about your problems.
Yeah.
So at first I coped with that. Like I was like, escape. Like so from there it was just like obviously
Which is part of the process, by the way. It is part of the
yeah,
process.
learning, growing, and figuring out myself. Like, what is this? I don't know. Like, I'm a curious woman, so I put myself in different rooms. So from there, would go and party, and obviously there was drugs, alcohol, and I'm like, what's like? My boyfriend is like at that time, like, hey, let's do it, and like also friends. I remember my first time. A friend just told me, open your mouth. And she didn't even tell me what it is. I'm thinking it's gum. I'm like, okay. And then, like, it's not gum. And I'm like, whoa, what is this?
something
I'm like,
wrong.
happening? Yes. I'm like, that's so cool. But she did not know, just to make it short, she didn't know. I had to go back to home. Like, I had strict parents.
Oh my gosh.
And I was in my room by myself. And I started, I want to say, I was like a little bit horny. And I'm like, what is this pill doing? And I was like, I'm in my parents' room, like a house. So I just told my friend, I was like, what did you give me? And she like laughs out loud. She's like, I forgot you had to go home. And I'm like, my mom cannot see me. And she's going to kill me. So I locked the room and I dim the lights like if I'm going to sleep, but I was rolling my balls. So after that, I started like learning about the music scene, and I just went straight to techno. At that time, that boyfriend was like, "It's crazy. You went from like a little bit of EDM to techno. People usually go on stages, but you go straight to the hardcore stuff." And I just like that was my escape from reality. And there's so much you can escape. It doesn't matter. Like you can travel as much as you want. You can do other drugs or alcohol, but one day you're gonna have to face your fears, your trauma, and that's a lot of people numb themselves. They're numb, and because they don't want to face with reality. And then at one point, like when I moved over here, I was like, I'm like, Austin's freaking cool. Why can't I just live here? So I remember I told my boyfriend, with or without you, I'm moving. So I moved. Also, like I was getting bullied a lot in my workplace. So I was like too nice, where people were taking advantage of me, friends, boyfriend.
I can't imagine you getting bullied, but like I get it. I believe
Yeah,
that it happened. It's
I
just
think
it's
also
hard for me to
people-
imagine you getting bullied.
Like she said, like people taking advantage of her
Yeah,
too, like
I
because
agree
you
with
are so nice, and like you probably were like, yeah, I'll help you, and people just see that as like an
Take.
easy target and let me take from you.
What was
Yeah.
the workplace at that point?
At that place, I was a hairstylist.
Okay.
And but everyone would envy me because I got there and I was a fast learner and I was a top seller.
Okay.
And I'm like really good at like learning fast. And once I get it, I'm like ace. I'm a hustle.
Yeah.
Work hard, a hustler. And they were just envying me the numbers I was getting.
I get it now.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Yeah, for sure.
No, and then they were just like everyone like I remember I'm like I'm going to make money and not to make friends. But there was a point where like the environment, if you're not happy in the environment, it's gonna affect you. Like they made me cry twice, and like even the manager was part of the bullying, and that was like really. I was so young. I'm like maybe my early 20s, but I'm not noticing that the manager is also like the one starting this too.
Yeah,
She
like-
liked us fighting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's
Yeah.
a narcissist.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. And so anyways, I was like, I'm out. I'm going to Austin.
I'm following the techno.
Yeah. So the techno, I follow the techno way, and then I started going into festivals, and I started more being free spirit. I went like so free spirit. I was like braids, blue braids, pink hair. Like I was so expressive.
Yeah.
And like even showing, like I was like, oh, I'm free. Like I've never been free in my culture or there. I would get judged.
Yeah.
So it felt so good to be free.
It makes this a logical progression of
For
things,
sure.
right? Like that's how it always goes.
Yes.
That's what I mean when I say it's part of the process. It's like you experience one thing in your childhood and you are almost compelled to experience the very opposite, which is the freedom and the release and the expression on the other side. And then that's the only way that you find what the right balance is in the long run.
In the long run, yeah. And that's how you learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. And from there, like I just became so free, and I had a boyfriend that ended up moving with me. And
So he did end up coming, the same guy?
yes.
Okay.
But he was still in his old ways. I like started blooming, growing, and he was just in his old ways. And unfortunately we had to like I was going this way and he was just staying like, and I was like, we're just not matching, and I had to break it off. But I had grown up like going to church, like forced to church when I was younger, and I was like very against it because it was so boring. I was like from like an 8-9-year-old, 7 or 6, listen to a really, really old man, and I'm like, we cannot resonate. And I'm like falling asleep. I'm like, why am I here? But the fun I would learn when I would go to school camps, that was fun. And I had a lady that's like my second mother. She would like be like, she called us daughters of God because she had 5 guys, so she never had girls, and she always wanted them. And we would like cook, do crafting, we will swim, and she would teach us all this stuff through all those activities. We would learn and grow and learn about God. And like I got away because of like the forcing, and I just had a bad taste. I'm like, I'm not going back. Like I'm freedom, and I could do whatever I want. I choose whatever. And like for so long I couldn't choose.
Yeah.
So I stepped away, and then coming back, when I started more of my personal development, my mushroom journey was the first part. Like when I took mushrooms the first time.
Let's get into the personal development part.
So the mushroom is like the first 2 times I was scared to take it because I am a tiny girl, and like I remember doing like other type of stuff, and like I only needed very little, because when I took a whole thing, it was just like it was not good. So I was like scared I don't know my balance, so I'm like taking very little and it's not hitting.
And you know that's a very different type of drug, which is designed to like fuck you up, right, with as little as possible, versus mushrooms, which is natural. And
natural.
It's a different thing altogether.
Yeah, and I would just hear about it, but I was scared. I just didn't know how's my reactions.
For sure.
And then one time
I was 35 before I did mushrooms. Like,
wow.
I was like really old.
For sure.
Yeah.
So
that was
I was
mushrooms
afraid.
are
I was literally
good.
afraid.
Yeah. And I've heard
mushrooms.
of it. Yeah, I love mushrooms too.
I love them too. I love them big time.
The first time it was just
And they love me.
my friend actually passed away, unfortunately. Rest in peace. He like messaged me, and he loved me because his girlfriend would always listen to me but wouldn't listen to him. And he was like, Ashley, I need you to do me a favor. I'm like, what's up? It's like, can you invite her to work out, because she doesn't like working out. At that time she doesn't like, and she wouldn't listen to him, and he wanted her to get healthier. But she would listen to me. Anything I say, she'll say yes. So I was like, okay, it's to get her better. Like anything that makes my friends get better, yes, I'm there for that. So I messaged her. It's like, hey, would you like to work out? Right away she said yes. And low-key, I think she had a crush on me. But that's another story.
It's an easy way to get her to do whatever she wants, whatever you want.
One time she's like, I'm getting ready for you. And I'm like, oh, like, I don't know. But
sounds like fun.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. But she they both had a gym at their house, and he's like, you can use our gym. You don't have to go anywhere. I'm like, perfect. So it's easy for her too. So we start about to work out, and she's mixing all these things in this bottle. And I'm like, what are you mixing? I'm thinking it's pre-workout and I don't know, some supplements. She's like, pre-workout, BCAAs, mushrooms. And I'm like, I've never thought, like, thought of that or never. And it's like, is that cool? Like, do you work out? And she's like, yeah, it makes me feel like I can work out better. And I'm like, okay, I'm curious. I'm a curious human. So I was like, she's like, do you want some? I'm like, sure. So I'm thinking she's gonna put very little. I had no idea she put 1 gram.
Oh
Okay.
my god!
And I was like,
that's a lot for you.
Yeah,
and
for the
for
first
like
time.
a workout.
Yeah, that's it. It's pretty
Yes.
serious. Yeah.
so I
It's a good dose.
we started working out, but it never hits me while we work out.
Mm.
I'm just waiting. And then she like doesn't, she stops, she wants to stop. And I'm like, okay. And we open the door to her house and it hits me. And I'm like, whoa. And I'm like, okay, now it hits, but when I'm done of the
Yeah.
workout. So I start like, she was laughing at me because I literally, that's when I knew I was able to help, like advise a lot of people and help my friends in like dating or relationships, because it opened my mind. And I feel like that Hangover scene where it has all the calculations.
Yeah.
I was like, like
Really?
putting all the pieces together. And I was like, 'cause they were having problems.
Yeah.
And they would tell me
All
their
at once? Does this happen all at once over the course of like a single
yes.
trip? Oh, okay. Wow.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And like they both had told me problems of them, and like I was trying to help them, and I was like, I know what you need to do. I go to the her mirror and I start writing, and she
Yeah.
starts
I was gonna say,
laughing.
like, I'll make a
She's like,
whiteboard.
what's going on?
A
And she's
beautiful
like,
mind.
yeah. And I was like, you're gonna do monthly check-ins, you're gonna do weekly check-ins, and
Nice.
you're gonna tell each other what bothers you.
There
and
you
she's
go.
like, okay. She was like actually liking everything I said. And she's like, where is this coming from? I'm like, the mushrooms is, yeah, I don't know, doing wonders.
Yeah.
That's
But
cool.
after that, I literally told her what to do, and like I told him what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And they were having, like, he was expecting something from her, and she was expecting something from him that wouldn't like I'm just gonna say, like, he wanted her to clean the house more, and she wouldn't be able to because she has kids. So it was like a lot. So like the house was not really clean, so he didn't like that. And on the other side, like TMI, but I'm just gonna say it because
We got
sorry,
time.
I know I love you. I know this is gonna help us.
You can cut out names, I guess. if you
Yeah,
needed to.
yeah, you can call it.
Yeah.
So she like was saying how he was not very sexual active,
Okay.
and like she was like craving for that, and I was like, what if I told her, I know sometimes we have to do things and sacrifice for someone you love, things that we don't like to do. And I told her, sometimes like watching football with your guy, you don't like football, but you know he loves it. So you do it for him because you know he loves it. So I was like, what if you do this cleaning, not for like, I know you don't like it, but you know he likes it.
Yeah.
And if you get that cleaning, he rewards you. And she's like, So,
Good
and then
idea.
I told him, I was like, if you get home and you see what you want, you're gonna give it to her. so the next day, she's like, Ashley, what did you do? Like, they had amazing, sex.
Amazing sex.
Nice.
And
In a
like,
clean house.
yes,
Yeah.
in a clean house. So they
It's
both
always
got
better in a clean house.
they both got what they wanted.
Definitely.
And
Yeah.
like I was like, oh wow, like they're like, all they have to do is get advice from, like, they won't sometimes couples, they don't hear each other, but they'll hear another outsource.
Yeah.
And like,
Yes, we
Well,
know.
Joe, we know. we know. Maybe you could be a part-time trainer with Supernova Couples
Yeah,
Coach.
for
I can
sure.
help you.
Absolutely.
With just in a few minutes, like, so that sounds like the beginning of like a little bit of a
Personal.
spiritual or personal development journey for you. Just give us like from a really high level in a couple minutes, then we'll get into the list. Like, I guess what that looked like from there on out.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So after that, like, so that happened, and then I started digging in more inside, and I was curious. And relationships, relationship mirror you,
Yeah.
and I was going, like, every relationship was mirroring things, and I was just thinking, always you think it's them. You never think it's you, and I'm like, no, like, I don't know. So all these people look up to me for I don't know. I'm just stories in my head. And at one point I was like, oh snap, I have some red flags. So I was like, I need to work on myself. And like, not everyone wants to do that. And like, so I started leaning into more like personal development, emotional intelligence, like did ALA and like some other activities, workshops, masterminds, and like did a lot of reading. And it's like what helped me the most is going through a lot of relationships. Like that I was able to see what I want, what I don't like, what I had to work on. And each relationship, I knew what I needed. I was like, okay, I could do better for myself in the next one. And then like the list was getting better each relationship.
Yep.
But yeah, and then like to make it to where I'm at, it just like something was calling me. Like I felt like God, and like I was like, no, I'm very avoidant, stubborn. No, like I was just pushing it away, and then like I leaned in, but I was just not like fully in, and like as I started leaning more, I was like, I'm just gonna follow what my intuition. It's always right.
Yep.
So I just followed it, and like miracles started happening. So
Maybe like just in with a minute left before we get into list, like you had you spoke about your parents when in your childhood, and you had like a really incredible opportunity and experience with them over the last year. I don't know if you want to speak about that.
Yeah,
like,
that's
really briefly.
where
'Cause I feel like that's the culmination kind of for you.
yeah, so that's where the miracles started happening. I was like, when I started doing the inner work and like, leaning into God, that's when I had talked to you about it, like you guys. It's like I started just like literally I realized that you cannot tell your parents what to do. They're not gonna listen. But you get to be the example. And like I learned that they started getting inspired. The more I worked did and heal myself, the more they were inspired and wanting to heal themselves too. So I started telling my mom like, hey mom, like I just feel like I need peace in my heart and I want forgiveness and love. And that meant like forgiving my exes, calling them, and just to mend things. And I was like, in case tomorrow doesn't come, I don't want to have all these grudges. So I did that. I meant peace. And then when I said the word peace, my mom was like craving that. She has so much grudges and things built up about my dad. So after when she heard that, she's like, "You're right. Tomorrow is might not come. Why don't you invite your dad?" And I'm like, what the hell am I dreaming? Because they've been divorced for 23 years and we haven't been together since I was little. So
it was a holiday, right? Wasn't it? Was it a
Thanksgiving, right?
holiday?
Yeah, on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
She asked me and I was like, this is no way. And I'm like, she might change my mind later. I was just like, too good to be true. And I'm like, oh no, it's getting closer. And I was getting all this anxiety and I was able, and then I was hosting. So I had so much anxiety, but I was trying not to show it.
Yeah.
But that's one of the miracles that I put my parents together through my healing. And like after that, I went through another breakthrough as well that I don't know if I have time to talk about, but
We could maybe weave that into when we talk about some of the dating
yes.
stuff.
So like that I had another miracle, and it took another version of me to be like bring them together and heal some parts of my family. And I was like, wow, it gave me courage. Like that ALA that I went is like gave me courage, it gave me commitment, and it gave me like to be a catalyst in my family. And like I was like, how can I do this in every holiday? Then in Christmas, I started like bringing card connections, and my mom was like, wow, this is great. I started hearing her dreams that we never talk about that. We were just like at Christmas on our phones watching a movie and like disconnected. I was like, I want this year for to be present and not presence. And I make sure to have that. And then I started becoming closer with my dad and talked about, I was like literally praying, wanting my dad to believe in God again. And it was my first time taking him to church. He never said yes to my stepmom, but for me, he said yes. And I feel like that was God.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
When you like you became the woman that you were meant to be, or you're becoming the woman that you're ultimately meant to be, and like you are leading by example, and then that you by doing that you allow other people to heal like in your presence. Basically, you lead by example, and then other people follow in suit.
It's inspirational. Like people are able to see it and be like, oh, that's something like I'm seeking and I want. Let me go to her and try to get that same relief.
And I feel like some people think it's like, oh, she's young, she doesn't know, or like I feel like age now is like a lot of younger people than me are right now like I'm like, where is this all this intelligence? Like young boys right now,
Yeah.
like Gen Zs are like brilliant.
Yeah.
And like yeah, it just because we have the tools. My parents didn't have the
Yep.
tools,
Yeah.
so
Definitely not.
the generation that they say there's more experience in some areas, but I believe right now we have a lot of technology. It's so easy to learn a lot
Yeah.
of things.
Yep.
Now we get to learn in an early age.
No doubt, tons of information is readily available, and if you are the kind of person that seeks that out, especially in a place like Austin,
Definitely.
there's plenty opportunity to actually learn like the stuff that life is, what's actually important in life versus like
Yes.
in some other cities it might be a little bit different. It might still be like, not to say it's not party and it's not sports and it's not all like those other things, but I feel like in Austin there's more opportunities to like
It's
for
a young
personal
crowd.
development and
It's
wellness
really
and
nice.
fitness and all
Yeah.
of that.
Like really find out like who you are. And like,
Yes.
Like
I think it's a
really
city
do
of-
some like
yeah.
deep work on yourself and not just be living day to day and living your life. Like really be working on
Yes.
yourself.
I think it's a city where you find yourself. A
Yeah,
lot of people
definitely.
come here, and I see them literally build businesses, finding themselves, healing, family,
Yeah.
relationships, career, everything.
Around like 2019, 2020 is obviously when a huge influx. I always say when we moved in 2013 that like I thought we already missed the wave on Austin at that point. I thought
Yeah.
like it was as big as it was going to get, and of course like
No.
it's
Keeps going.
it's exploded
Yeah.
since, but especially since 2020. And everybody that seems to have moved during that period of time and come here, like everybody that I know, and it could be biased based on like the communities that I'm a part of, but everybody's like thriving. Everybody's crushing it. They found something that they're passionate about. They're like focused. They're surrounded by people that are encouraging them and supporting them in whatever it is that they're doing. It just seems like I don't know if that's happening everywhere, but it's definitely
Yes.
happening here.
I mean, I like they say Austin is like the greatest city
Yeah.
in the world.
I say that.
Like a lot of people say that, but yeah, like you travel and it's hard to find these type
Yeah.
of people around.
Yeah, I love it. I love Austin.
Yeah,
okay,
same.
so
But they also say it's the most difficult for dating.
Oh yes.
Good segue. Good segue, man. And since we have one of the most popular
Yay.
girls in all of Austin here, we have, I guess, like 35 minutes left. So we got plenty of time to get through as many of these as possible. You put a list together of
Yeah.
dating rules, dating do's and don'ts, and we're just going to spitball them. You tell us what the rule is. You give us a little bit of a breakdown of what you mean by that, and then I'll either like agree, I'll disagree, I'll have questions, I'll ask.
At me.
Yeah, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. Let's do it.
Challenge accepted. Rule number 1. Do not
Wait, hold
sleep-
on. Let's do like a little bit of an intro. This
Okay.
is Ashley's top 10 dating rules.
Yes.
Ashley's top 10
Plus
dating
one.
rules.
Plus one.
Plus one. Bonus. All right, let's
Bonus.
go. Okay, let's get
Okay.
into it.
Rule number 1. Don't sleep with them right away.
Okay.
Okay.
So what does that mean is like being patient. If you could be patient while you date and do that, you can learn so much about the person before even making a decision. You don't want to make it weird and like then you're in it and then you cannot be friends, you know, afterwards because you already slept with them. But the good thing is like if you guys are not compatible and you can take your time and you see like, oh, this person's not actually for me, we actually could be friends and not
Yeah.
make it weird. And yeah.
Yeah. Do you have thoughts
Okay.
on that?
I agree with it. My one question to that, because you said it, do you find it's difficult once you are sexually active with someone to then be a friend with them? Like say you like built a great relationship
Yeah.
and then you engaged, like you had sex, and you're like, okay, we weren't really connected sexually, but I really enjoy our time together, our conversations. How does that translate to
So
able to be a friend?
if you don't have feelings for them, like I feel like it's okay to be friends, but for the next relationship, I feel like it's out of respect.
Yeah.
So, like just for
Sure.
my person,
Yeah.
I want to respect. Like meanwhile, I'm single, we could be friends, but the minute I get in a relationship, I'm probably gonna cut this person off because it's out of respect.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't want him. Oh, one of the guys I was with while I'm in the relation, in the same room, you know,
Yeah.
and make him feel weird or uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
a really
an
good
excellent
point.
I think that's a really excellent point that I actually wouldn't have even like necessarily considered as
Yeah.
far as that's concerned, but that's a really good point. I agree with it. I think that like every relationship is a little bit different, and I think that here's what I would say is like in the first couple dates, it's probably not a good idea in general. Like I'd say as a general rule of thumb, it's probably not like a winning strategy to like have sex.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say after a few, like that's where it might like come into play. And I don't think it's like should be a hard rule for
Yes.
everybody. I think it's like depends on the person, but I do think there's something to be said where it's like, and I think you have a rule coming up where it's like, let's focus on the person, not focus on like our physical attraction to them. And you might jump into that too early. Then you're energetically connected with them in a way that you wouldn't necessarily be otherwise. And then it might be harder to see the red flags or make the right decision because you kind of don't want to feel regretful for the decision that you made early on that you like now are sort of like, I would hate to say it, but stuck with more.
Yeah.
Or less. That's the way I feel about it a little bit.
So I've have a friend that she kept always saying, "Don't sleep with him, Ashley. Wait till 3 months." She would say 3 months, and I was like, I would like fall, like I will make it almost or halfway. I'm like, damn it, like so. And it would not work out. And the one thing is that what I learned is it will confuse me. That's the thing is like now I don't know because I'm like, I feel like trauma bonding exists.
No doubt.
So, and I heard this actually in a mushroom journey in my birthday.
Okay.
I said like, you can exchange demons and the energy and the
Yeah.
I experienced that previously
Yeah.
with someone, and I literally saw it. Like I saw like a little demon in him, and I was just like ignoring it. I was like, I don't know. I just maybe it's me, overthinking it. But I was seeing it, and then the minute I felt the darkness like stuck in me, and it was so hard to leave him because I feel like I had it in me, and like
Yeah.
that was like very eye opening.
That's all very real. Like that, like
you're
true
exchanging.
energetic
Yes.
exchange is very real, and I think like sexual energy is like the most intimate, the most physical, the most like real type of actual energy that you can genuinely exchange with somebody. And yeah, if they have bad vibes, those bad vibes rub off. If they're good vibes, and those good
and
vibes
it took a
rub
while
off.
to get him off and
Yeah.
then get over him because of that. I feel like because I still had the darkness, but even going to his room, it was black, and I was like, I already like so many signs, and I was like, I just felt like he had a little demon in him, and like, but I was just like, no, like, he must like, I would just ignore the red flags, you know. And they always say when you end a relationship, it's usually the reason is the same reason that of the red flags you ignored, and it's true.
Yeah,
It was that.
Well, let's move on. I think there's
there's
another
a-
rule coming up.
So also to not ignore the red flags.
Yeah, is that number 2?
Yeah, number
Okay.
2, if something feels off, and it usually is, early excuses, like right away, you either address it.
Excuse me, I just burped.
It's okay. You're human. You can fart.
I'll try to avoid farting.
Oopsie. But yeah, like you can like save a lot of headaches. Believe actions over words. There's a lot of love bombing,
For
and a
sure.
lot of girlfriends of mine. It's because he said this. I was like, but are they doing it? No, they fall for potential.
Yep.
And I was like, literally, look what's going in front of you.
Yep.
What's in front of you? What is he doing? Not what he's saying.
Yes.
Because anybody can say you're beautiful. I'm gonna do this, that, and I'm like, if it's not aligning.
That's my biggest number one thing with anybody, and not just when it comes to dating or like romantic relationships in anything. It's does the person do the things they say they're going to do? That is the key to unlocking who is worth keeping in your life and who isn't. And like, here's the thing: is a red flag. I think that's like the number one red flag is like not following through on the things that you say you're going to do or your commitments. Red flags can mean a lot of things. So like when I think of a red flag, I think of something where you go into a date saying like, oh, if he's got this thing, a gorilla tattoo, it's a red flag for some reason, versus a bad vibe or a bad like set of characteristics that like rub you the wrong way.
Something like morally or ethically is like
Yeah.
off.
So like I think that like drawing a distinction, because I think that people go in looking, a lot of times people go in and they use like a stupid red flag as an excuse to not pursue
Yes.
somebody or not have a relationship with somebody, and that's fine because like ultimately it's because the vibe was off to begin with and you're using that red flag as an excuse. But I think that identifying what is a valid red flag is what's
Yes.
important.
Because I feel like red flags, there's some that you could be flexible, like
Yeah.
6 feet tall, like blue eyes, like sometimes you're not
About
finding a
five,
person.
about 5'8" blue eyes.
No, but like sometimes you have to be flexible. Sometimes a person is not exactly like what you, and you have to be flexible.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes some characteristics that are red flags could be changed by
Yeah.
communication.
No doubt,
Like,
yeah.
and a little example is I had a boyfriend that he would drink, and like there was a whole version that would come out that I was like, I'm not dating this.
Yeah.
And I put that, I was a red flag. And I was like, I'm not gonna date someone that's gonna be this way and treat me this way when they're drunk. And like he changed. So I was like, there's ways to change the red flags with communicating and patience and understanding. And but there's a non-negotiables and there's the flexible ones.
Yeah. And I think what you're saying is like, you're saying don't ignore red flags, but that's not ignoring it. That's being aware of it and
Acknowledging it.
addressing it, and then like
Yes.
having the conversation and making an active change along with the other person. So I think that that's like, don't ignore red flags doesn't mean if you see a red flag, run for the hills.
No.
It means
Yeah,
do your
like,
best to like address it.
it,
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. All right.
Put the energy
I'm
into
down.
it if it's like
I like
something
it.
you want
Yeah.
to pursue.
Good rule.
Yes.
Good rule.
And they can always the red flag, like I believe in second chances, so I feel like that's when it's flexible, you communicate and everything.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Let's
but-
move. Let's move on to number 3. Say it. Rule number 3.
Okay, so pace yourself.
Okay.
Like the biggest decision of your life is choosing your person. The person you're gonna have babies with, the person you're gonna be every day and see him. Like you have to see every side of him. And like it takes a long time to see this, like the side of all the people. And you wanna see, what I learned is like in the beginning is the butterfly stage. At 3 months, everything's exciting because it's new and everything. And then after 3 months or to 6, you start seeing other sides you never thought, because it takes a while to get to know. And like what I learned is getting to know them in their angry, their weird, their sadness. Like how do they act when they get angry? Are they gonna yell at you? Are they gonna disrespect you? Hopefully no violence. Like you really need to get to know them fully.
Yeah.
And some people just see the happy version and I'm in love, I'm gonna marry this person. I'm like, no, I want to know if we can navigate conflict, if we're gonna be able to repair. I've heard that after navigating conflict, another powerful thing is how are we repairing it? How are we coming back stronger?
Yep.
And so seeing all those sides, and it takes a while to do that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think like when somebody is in the process of dating, if you're going on a date with somebody, it probably means that you're feeling pretty good about yourself at where you're at in your life at that point. Maybe like whether that's on a long-term scale or just in a few short months, but also the guy is probably somebody he's obviously like is probably making money. He's probably feeling pretty good about how he looks and how he's doing, but those things always come in waves. So
Yes.
when two people are more likely to go out on a date and have a good time and experience like a good romantic couple of dates with one another, it's probably because they're both in a high stage
Yes, high.
or a high season of their life.
Yes.
And it's gonna take some time because it just these things come in cycles,
Yeah.
right? There's no doubt that there's
happens.
going to be some sort of a dip on one part or both, and seeing how when one person dips, how the other one responds, when one person dips, how they respond,
Yeah.
vice versa, and all the kind of combinations there. It takes time to really see what happens when the shit hits the fan.
Yeah, and I also think like just like hardships, like that's when you like when you're sick, like I want to know if I'm in the hospital, if I get hopefully never cancer, things like that, like you're going to be there. You're not going to leave me.
Yep.
Like just because you just saw the good in me. Like I want you, if I'm in the worst, I want you to be there through hell, through everything. That's how it's supposed to be, partnership forever.
Yep.
And just a trust is built over time. And so I think that's why pacing yourself is important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anybody could be a great person for like a couple weeks.
Yes.
It's hard to be
course,
a
they can
cou-
put on their show.
It's harder to be a
Yeah.
great person for a couple months, and it's much harder to be a great person for a
Yes.
couple years. So just
And
keep
then
that in mind.
yeah, and then like when you do have those moments where everything's down and low, like how how each of you react. But I think a great point you said was then how do you come back together? What does that rebuild look like? Because it could be like you just put some tape over it, you
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
and like, but no, you have to like take it down and rebuild brick by brick and like coming back
Yes.
together stronger. I think that's a really good point.
I think that is maybe the next rule is sort of related, right?
Have you memorized the rules?
I kind of remembered a little
Nice.
bit.
Well, just to finish this, it's
Yeah.
like just like taking your time and like about because a lot of people move in together right away. They get excited. It's like there's time. There's time because it's
Yeah.
the biggest decision of your life.
Yeah.
But maintaining your own life.
Okay.
Is this number 4?
This is number 5.
Okay.
Rule number
So it's like not dropping your
You're doing good.
hobbies. I've done that where it's like, oh my God, I'm in love. So I lose myself in him and I put him first.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't work out now I'm like I have nothing in me like going on because I put everything in him.
Yeah.
It's about like having y'all's both each other's hobbies, whether you like soccer, I don't know, racket, whatever, or girls, women's circle, men's, and then coming together.
Yeah.
But like I really feel like space is very important, like space with family, friends, and then like coming back together and having that missing, I miss you and all these things to talk
Yeah.
about, and like you learn from other people and we come back and talk about it.
I think this goes a lot toward the pacing conversation too, because it's really just what you're saying is like, what is the exact rule?
And maintain your own life.
Yeah.
Keep maintaining your own life.
I think that like just goes along with not pacing because it's one thing to like, you know, get together in the evening every evening or most days of the week or something like that and hang out. But again, a relationship means that your lives are like merging together and it's important that of course like each of you maintains your own routines and your own foundation of your life and all the balance there because the relationship might not continue.
Yes.
And the more that they become melded together, the harder it is to actually rip
yes.
the band, like to rip
Yeah.
the relationship apart because you're more energetically connected at that point in every way. But also what you're going back to is going to be in shambles at
Yes.
that point. And it's just important to maintain like your own sense of self. We really
own identity.
formed like our life together from a young age.
Yes.
So like
And that's rare nowadays.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
very rare. So like we are in a little bit of a different situation where like we came into our own together and
Together,
we
big
built
time.
that together. But I know how serious I am about my routine and the structure of my life. And what I do see a lot of is people get in relationships, especially I can think of some men who get in relationships and like they become so infatuated that they let their whole life go to shit. And I do think that like it's one thing for and this may be like sexist of me, and this is where I'll like I'll stake my claim. Though I'm gonna stick my flag
it.
in the ground here. I do think that like the man is more responsible for maintaining like his sense of self. I think that there's like a part of like the feminine energy, which is like sort of, it's why like you take the man's name historically is because like you're sort of becoming a part of his life. Like at least that's the way that it is looked at like traditionally. So I do think there is a little bit more of that like from the female's end, but like you should still obviously have your own interests and your own things that you
Yes.
do and your own hobbies and your own time away.
Yeah,
And
for
in fact,
sure.
that's something that we incorporated several years back in the last like 5 to 10 years is like, we realized I have a lot of alone time. She doesn't really have much.
Because I go into the office and I'm like around people like
So why
all
don't you
the
talk a
time.
little bit about
So
that?
yeah, I decided like after we discussed it, because I kind of got to this point where I was like, I don't have like time for like me to like sit with like just my thoughts and my own
Yes.
feelings. And so I call it Poozle time.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
like
like
that.
Poozle's my nickname. And like
Yeah.
it's I go like I used to just like walk over to the park that's over
Yeah.
by our house here. And like now, so it's like now I have like my room in the house that I go into, but it's my time to just like sit and write. And then like there's times that I like will color if I'm in the
Yeah.
house or just like play with my tarot cards now. Like I have all these different things that I just like to get away and like have my time. And then I go on my walks or I go to the gym by myself. Like I have that me time.
Yeah.
And it's super important.
It is,
because like you need to be able to have silence just to like sit with yourself.
Yeah, I get all these ideas and reflections while I'm by myself. That sometimes because we're distracted with our partner or
Yeah.
like doing something else. But when you're like alone, you get like answers, ideas, reflections.
Yeah. And you're able to like process like a conversation or a moment from the day and be like, oh, why did I react that way? Like,
Yes.
what was that about?
Yes. You start. I was like, oh, I was the wrong one. Never mind. Yeah.
And it really like the reason was simply like she's in the office, I work
Yep.
from home, so
Yeah.
I'm alone with
Yes.
my own thoughts a lot
All
of the
the
day and doing my
Mhm.
own thing. And when I see her, like all I want to do is like be around her. So
Yes.
then I'll be like all lovey and clingy, and then we collectively realize it's like you're like your time in the car is like the only time that you're alone.
Yeah.
We need to
Yeah.
build like more alone time
Yes.
into your
Mhm.
day because we're
Good.
in the house
Yeah.
together, and
Yeah.
like we have been for a very long time. So yeah, I would say that's a really important one, and one that we had to almost like reverse engineer
Yeah.
a little bit.
What came up for me right now when you said about like men might have more responsibility is like that it's something like I know you guys also get inspired by Alex Hermosi
Of course,
and Layla.
Yeah.
So I believe like behind every successful man there's a
Mhm.
woman
Mhm.
Oh,
like
yeah.
pushing them, supporting emotionally, and
Yeah.
like that's why he is who he
Yep.
is, and like that's how you both build.
Yeah,
You know, you put your part, and then you put your part, and together
For
build.
sure.
that's
We
huge. And-
play to our strengths for
Yes.
sure. And then, like, yeah, I support him always.
and that's like why I always say like that's the reason I am who I am is because of the support that she's given me. And it goes to show like with Layla Hormozy, for example, if she wasn't so she's her own woman, and I actually like Layla more than I like
No,
Alex.
yes,
to
I
be
kinda like her
honest.
more,
I
too.
I think she's awesome. But like she is ultimately fully her whole life is fully behind her husband, and that's why they are who they are. So like that's what we do with synergy coaching is to learn how to play to your superpowers and your strengths and become the best couple that you can be as a whole. And you have to meld lives
Yes.
eventually, so that you can never be like you can never keep it fully separate.
And I remember seeing a clip of you guys sharing a story that reminded me of their story.
Okay.
So it's like whenever you say you needed help and she was helping you.
Oh,
And
this,
like-
when I was his sugar mama?
Yes.
Yeah.
So also that happened with Layla and Hermosi.
Mhm.
Hermosi's like, well, I'm like, why don't you just leave me? Like he was saying, I don't know. Like he was on his low,
Yeah.
like with no money, and she's like, no, I like this is what partnership is about.
Yep.
Like we're gonna do this. We're in this together.
Yep.
So she didn't leave. Like when, especially that's more powerful when you're in it when they don't have a lot of money.
Yep.
It's like you were in it not for the money. You were in
Yep.
the hard times, so you deserve everything when it blooms.
That's
you know.
no doubt, baby.
Yeah.
That's right.
So it's like I love it's like you
Yeah.
guys are like similar in the sense.
Yeah.
I would think so.
But
agree.
another thing is like being straightforward with your intentions. Like if you wanna F around, it's okay. Just say it. Like
Yeah.
not like sugar coated and like you pretend you want a relationship then you don't. And
Yeah.
it's just like you think you're like saving yourself, but you're playing yourself.
Yeah.
And like you're gonna also get drama and like
Yeah.
hurt and all this stuff.
I think that's just a rule for life. Be
Yeah.
very
Sure.
direct about your intentions.
Yeah,
be honest.
straightforward.
Know what you want so that you
Uh-huh.
can actively, like, proactively communicate that to the rest of the world.
Yeah,
That's what I
and
think is-
putting boundaries, like saying your boundaries,
Yeah.
like your non-negotiables. Let's say you have to talk about kids, marriage. There's a certain like not too soon, maybe not the first day because like scare
Yeah.
away, but like in the beginning because
Yep.
if this person wants kids, this wasn't, and then
For sure.
you can't. You don't want to in the 6 month or a year. Oh, I did not know. You could have saved all that time.
Of course.
So talk about like the real things, your non-negotiables. If you're gonna get married, kids, all that sense, finances. But yeah, another one is, I kind of already
What
said
number
that.
are we on?
We're number 6, but
Okay.
I already kind of said that. How do they handle stress?
Yeah, we kind of talked, and I
Yeah.
think again, I think that's like one of the biggest things
Mm-hmm.
because again, it's easy to do the things that you say you're going to do when everything's going well. It's
Mm-hmm.
harder when again the shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
So, yeah, how do they handle stress? That's again just in terms of people in general. That's the first thing I do. If I'm like interviewing somebody,
Yeah.
my goal is to see like in general like an interview is not this kind of interview,
Yeah.
but like a job interview. It's stressful in and of itself. So like there's a certain amount of pressure on it, and actually asking simple questions and
Yes.
see how simple their answer
Yeah.
is just it's a way of just determining like how are they under stress, or are
Yes.
they gonna like over talk, are they gonna go ramble on and on, or are they gonna like say something stupid?
Yes.
If they can't do that, then they're probably not good under stress.
Yeah.
But like you can only you can only sense it when they actually are
Yes.
in that situation.
And I feel like I've heard that it's like asking questions. And that's
Yeah.
how you're gonna get to know. Just ask,
Yeah.
and you get to know the person.
Mm.
The next one is match effort and don't chase.
Mm-hmm.
Like if someone's putting like 90%, the other one's 10, like it's not matching. Are we in
Yeah.
it to get like, or you don't like me, or like what's
Mm-hmm.
Do you think so? Is that more so a rule for a woman versus a man?
I
'Cause I feel like the guy has to.
I think it's
chase-
more of a woman. Like
Okay.
there's a part where the man has to be the one initiating.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna give you an example myself, from experience. But like right now, I have a boyfriend. Healed version, yeah.
Nice guy too.
Nice guy,
A
you
couple
guys
times
met.
I've had a
Amazing.
chance to meet.
But yeah, like it took me till like the fifth date or fifth date to like finally like say yes, like I want to date you.
Okay.
But because one, and you have to be real. Like just because I wasn't putting that much. If he thought I was not interested, it was just like I was healing. I was still healing. I had just gotten off a situationship. I'm embarrassed to say that. Never do those. But I learned, and I was like trying to heal, and I felt like I thought I needed to heal alone. I was like, I can't have another person. I was pushing everyone away, but this person was consistent and being there. It took me a while to see it, so I had to like. At one point, it's like, wait, actually, this person might be good for me. And I was like, but since I was so in my own little bubble that I need to heal by myself, I was like, but you get to heal also in a relationship or with someone else. That's how, again, relationship, you mirror each other and
Yeah.
keep healing.
Yeah. Do you have anything to say about that one?
Yeah.
I think this is actually a really big one. And this is one that when we talk about dating and single life, this is one of my like biggest areas where I see an imbalance. And I think what I see is men, and I'll just like from a high level context, traditionally when people are dating, you're like seeing them in person, right?
Yes.
So it's like back in like even the 50s,
Yeah.
let's say, or even like in the last century, it's kind of like if you're dating somebody, it's because you see them at like the soda fountain pop shop or
Yes.
whatever, or like you see them at the bar, or you see them at work, or you see them at the park, wherever it is. And now everything is very remote and everything's very like, of course, digital, and all of and with that, you lose a lot of like body language.
Yes.
You lose a lot of even just like moving your body, moving closer to somebody is an indicator of interest, at
Watching
least
the
into a
facial
man,
expressions.
and
Yes.
especially like from a man specifically, like those little things indicate to a man if the woman is actually like interested in the relationship or like even engaging in any way, shape, or form. Now we have like likes on your story
Yep.
are like the way that you would tell. So there's less cues from the woman to the man
Yes.
to indicate levels of interest.
Yeah.
And the men, probably like and largely because of like Me Too movement and all of that stuff,
Yes.
they're afraid to initiate without
Yes.
clear cues.
Yeah.
So I think that like there's a huge imbalance there where men need to learn how to initiate more, but I also think that women, I'm not saying that there should be a requisite level of like quote unquote effort from the woman. I think that like it is the man's job, like I said, to initiate
Yes.
and to lead the thing and the conversation and everything else, and like make the effort to like continue the relationship or initiate the relationship. But I do think that there's something to be said for women leaning in more if there is like any level of interest and doing it in a more like direct way, because the way that we do it now is very like it's not designed
How it used to.
effectively. Yeah.
I feel like the apps have disconnected us and like
Yeah.
social media, all that. That a lot of men don't know how to talk to girls
Yeah,
anymore.
there's no doubt about that
And
too.
yeah, they lost how to
Uh-huh.
that practice because they're always on the screen, and also
Using ChatGPT.
And not from not initiating too.
yes,
Yeah.
and also like the now.
Yeah, that's a huge one too, using ChatGPT. That's my
So-
number one rule. Don't
I
use ChatGPT.
I have no, don't do this, boys. Don't use ChatGPT to talk to girls
No
Yeah,
doubt. That's the worst
because
thing you
I
can
will
do.
catch you.
Yeah, of course. I think that's like disgusting. I can't. I won't.
Yeah,
settle for-
a
I will
person I
not
was
stand for that.
dating, like, and we found that he was talking to like, me and another girl at the same
my
time, and we
gosh.
became friends because women
That's how-
got each other.
That's how it
Men don't know,
works.
but we tell each other everything. Like, so anyways, anyways,
You guys have
girl
fun.
power. No, but like we both realized that he sent us the exact same text, a little bit different but the same, and it's so ChatGPT.
That's what most. I bet you most
gross.
guys.
And
are
I
doing
was
that.
like, okay, I'm not gonna tell you how I found out because then you guys are gonna change
I know it. I know how to do it.
No,
I
but
know the answer.
You know,
Yeah.
I'll tell you behind the scenes. But I found out.
I want to say real quick. Like, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I just saying I found out, and I was like, it just because it was the situationship, so it's already done and over, anyways. But
I know there's a lot of guys that are doing that. I find it like actually disgusting and
Yeah.
appalling. I don't like using ChatGPT to like be my words for me.
Yeah.
But also, I've even found, and I'm sure girls do this too,
Mm-hmm.
but I know there's plenty of dudes that do it, where they're taking the texts of the other person and putting them into ChatGPT and like doing like a psychological breakdown. Stop that.
Stop
Just
that.
stop doing all
Because
of that. Stop.
once
It's
Stop reading into it.
disgusting.
yeah, and when you guys
Shit's
actually
disgusting.
date in person and you don't have ChatGPT by your
Exactly.
side, you're gonna be screwed.
Well, it's because you have no emotional intelligence and you're
Yes.
asking a robot to do it for you.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's
you're
not
not
gonna
going to be
work.
able to have a good relationship
Yeah,
at
yeah.
that point. I'm over it. All right.
But
Move
Just
on. Let's
preparing them
move
for
on.
their future
I know.
relationships
This,
with the
that
robot.
conversation disgusts me.
So,
Next rule, please.
No ChatGPT. Anyways, yeah, like what you were saying earlier, something came up for me that so some men are like, which is really good, are getting in touch with their feminine side. We used to not have that, especially in my culture, very macho man, masculine, men don't cry, all that, and they're becoming feminine. But there's a balance. Now it's been like I've been seeing it's like 2 cases recently where like something happens, a girl get like, especially the blonde girl in the news that
Oh,
got
yeah.
stabbed. No man got in, and this is not the first time. There was another concert recently that also went viral that a guy beat up a girl and no man got in. They're in their feminine, like too feminine, where like they won't like men are designed to protect, provide, and lead.
Yes.
And like when we're getting too feminine, then
Yeah.
Preach,
Get
girl.
some, baby.
Preach.
I love it.
yeah, then when
that's
it's too
facts.
feminine, then how are you gonna like the girl that you're gonna date is gonna be the man, and it's just not gonna match.
No.
And also coming with that, some women nowadays, it's good and bad being hyper independent. And we become so hyper independent, and we're in this masculine that we intimidate men also. Yes, it's good because sometimes it's like if it doesn't work, you have something going on, you have a business, all that is good, the pros. But the cons is like you're like scaring men away too.
Yep.
So there has to be a balance. You can still be that, but when recently there's this girl Shelby Sapp, I really get inspired by her. She's a 23-year-old millionaire.
Okay.
And she explained it very well. She said she's very masculine. You have to be masculine in your job, but when it comes to a relationship, she goes in her feminine. She lets the man lead, still pays, does all the things that a man's supposed to do, and that's how you like balance it. You can still be a boss bee, but also you have to be feminine in your relationship.
But like you have to be in a relationship that allows you to be in your feminine.
Yes.
That's the biggest thing. If
And
like
if
she
you're
had to
with a
go
feminine
home
man.
to a man that like didn't know how to show up, and she's like,
Yeah.
all right, well I guess I have to continue this masculine role.
Well, that's what I was just
Yeah.
gonna say. Like, that's why the guys cannot be too feminine. It has to be in their masculine so she can be in her feminine.
1000%.
Then will come from the man's position here and argue with both of you, and or just challenge you and say at the same time, in order for the man to take the masculine role, and if you really do want to be in your feminine, then the stuff that we were saying earlier, where it's like just where the man is the one who should be settling the foundation, the woman should sort of be like kind of leaning more onto his foundation than he is onto hers. You have to be willing to do that because
Yes.
that is like in essence your femininity is
Yes.
like supporting and guiding him, like Layla
And being
Hormones.
Yeah.
and being grounding.
Yeah,
Like, I
being
think women
grounding.
bring
Yeah.
like a very grounding
Yeah.
presence.
So I fully agree. I always say everybody always says that I'm like super masculine, and I always say that
You
I think I'm
are.
actually very feminine. I think
You
I'm
do?
yeah.
Well,
I'm
in what
listen.
way?
I lead with. I provide, I
Yes.
protect, and I certainly lead with purpose. I do all
Yes.
of those things. And I always say the most masculine thing about me is that I take decisive action, which I think is a masculine thing. But like, I love art. I love creativity. I love to
Yeah.
move
Be in
my
his
body.
feelings.
I like
Yeah,
to be
you
in
have
my
empathy. I
feelings.
see that.
I like
Yeah.
like psychology
Yes.
and stuff.
the
So like
emotions.
my biggest interests are like more feminine in
Yes,
nature.
I can see
But
that.
like I conduct myself in
And
a
also,
masculine
you're
way.
like that's a balance.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, for sure.
yeah.
And it works for me, and I love
Yes.
it. And I feel good about it. So when I say I'm feminine, I don't mean that in any like negative way. I actually
Yeah.
like I'm proud of it. I'm like
So
proud of that
contact
for
him if you want to be a balanced
it.
feminine.
That's right.
Yeah, I love that. That's great stuff.
So don't confuse lust for love.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like goes to my number one about like that's how if you go it too fast, you can confuse it with love. Oh my god, I'm in love, but it's like you're high and
Yeah,
uh,
that's what it is. It's
uh,
literally just getting high. We kind of talked about that one already, but like I think that's a huge one that most people like. That's one that is maybe the hardest of them all. I think
For
in
sure.
some ways,
Yes.
because it's the least straightforward. Because
Yes.
it's hard to really draw the line between what is lust and what's like actual like personal attraction.
well, there's a question in this, and it's like, do you like the person outside of the bedroom?
Okay.
Because it's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, we have amazing sex and all this and chemistry, but who is the person outside of that?
Yeah.
Like, is it all the things like provider, protect, lead, and all the honest, communicative, loyal, all the
Yeah.
things in a relationship?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, in bed it matters, but this all matters. All the package matters,
Yeah,
you know?
no doubt.
Yeah. And then, if you're kind of leading with that lust and you're wearing those like rose colored glasses, like you might not notice those red flags, or you might be like, oh, I see that red flag, but I'm just going to choose to ignore
Yes.
it because I really like the bedroom.
Yes.
Yeah. It all like plays.
Confuses.
Dick drunk
Right.
or pussy drunk.
I
either
was
way.
Yeah.
going to say, or either or.
So just this is something that I had said before, like
Where are we? Where are we number wise?
9.
Okay, we got 3 more that we can get through this.
Okay,
Gotta get
so it's like I had said this before, but it's like listening more than you talk, asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how you'll find out how they talk about their family, their exes. That's another thing. Is like not bring your exes in the first conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, not too long ago, my mom was like, "Don't tell them about your exes," and
Yeah.
too late. Just kidding.
that is something that would probably like be a
Break
red
it.
flag for me right out of the gate. If somebody's like
Yeah.
on a date with me and they're immediately talking about their ex, I feel like
Yeah, I'm
I'd
like, you're not
probably-
over
yeah.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be like, but also like you're here with me, so like get that out of your head. I go, okay, that's somebody that can't control their thoughts.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
So
okay.
it's and maybe in a one part, maybe later in their relationship,
yeah.
because I don't know, so they can understand a trauma. Maybe there's
Yeah.
a trauma that an ex left me. You
I'm
know?
not, and I would never say like don't talk about your exes. I'm just like on a first date.
Not
it
on the
just seems
first date.
weird.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically never date with potential.
Mm-hmm.
This is a
Yeah.
big one.
Never date potential because I have a lot of friends and I was there too, so I feel you. Like you see that, oh, but the potential he has, he could be this person. You see it and you're literally in la la land in a cloud and you're in love, and it's like you cannot leave this guy because you're in this cloud. But in reality he's not that guy. I'm like, but who is he right now? I get, put yourself in your present, like who is he? And like it's hard to get out of that because you just fall in love with this,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
and not what's in front of you.
And this is a huge one for me. I'll let you speak first, and then I can like maybe wrap up with my thoughts here because it kind of ties into a lot of what we've already said.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, I think like you said exactly, like who is that person in the present moment? What is that person doing? What are they saying? And then what are their actions?
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, living in again that idea of like, well, they could be this or they could be that. And like right now they're doing this, but they'll change it and they'll
Yes.
become this person. Like everyone will change, but like they have to be doing the actions to make that change and
Yes.
to become that person.
The process. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my opinion on
the
it.
point that you're making is the main point that I want to make is like a lot of this is about how the person is showing up.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about potential, there's 2 different ways that you can look at it. You can look at potential being like the things that this person can accomplish or accumulate. So like somebody could be a good provider or like make more money than they are right now or have a cooler house or have a cooler car or have a greater social status. Those are like things that you'd want to have.
Yeah.
And those are things that somebody can grow into.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really easy to look at somebody and go, he's handsome or she's beautiful and she's got a good job or he's got a good car or she knows this person or his dad is this person. And all of a sudden he can, so for all of those reasons, he can accomplish a lot.
Mhm.
But that's not where the decision should be made. It should be
Yes.
made based on their actions and
Yes,
based on how
actions.
they show up, because that's the person that they actually are,
Yes.
is the actions that they perform. So even if they don't have all of the things, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't, just like Alex Hormozy,
Yes.
right? Like Layla Hormozy was his sugar mama.
Yeah.
You were my sugar mama.
Mhm.
I didn't have much to show
Yeah.
for the person that I was, but obviously she saw something in me, and Layla saw something in Alex, where it's
Mhm.
they do what they say they're going to do.
They
They
do it.
show up.
Mhm.
They have a plan. They
Mhm,
stick
they have a
to it.
plan.
They accomplish and they make progress.
PED.
They do the PEDs. They plan.
Exactly.
They execute, and they
Yeah.
dominate. And that is what you should be dating, is how they show up, not what they have.
Mhm.
In the same way that, like, you could make a massive mistake by dating somebody who has a lot but
Yeah.
isn't showing up
Yeah.
Mhm.
in the right ways. And that is like, you're dating the things they have. You're not dating the
Yes.
person that they are. In
And
that
all
case.
those things can go away so quickly, and then all you're
Yeah.
left with is that person, and like, who is that person?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's that
Yeah,
person?
because all
Yeah.
those things are fleeting.
I want to add some.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
That comes.
We got a couple
uh,
quick minutes. Yeah, we'll do a lightning round, and then we'll wrap it up.
So there's some. I hear more from men.
Okay.
I have some men friends that will be like scared to cut their hose for this one person, because what if it doesn't work out? And like now they have left with no hose.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, I was like, what?
like having like they call
Yeah.
like I'm
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
around
yeah,
hose,
yeah.
but like just side people, like in
Uh-huh.
case
Side
it doesn't
pieces.
work.
Sure.
Like, cause then like I'm left alone and I cut all this hose for you, and I've heard it through mostly guys,
Yeah,
and I say like if the person's worth it, you want to respect, and you have to cut
Yeah.
those,
Yeah.
and you have to risk it.
Yeah, that's scary.
Risk it for the biscuit.
It's scared. That's scared boy energy.
Yes, for
Yes.
sure.
That's all just
and that's
scared
ego,
boy.
and
Ego,
that's
yeah.
just
nonsense bullshit energy.
So it's
yeah,
like that's
boy.
never gonna work if you're not letting go of the past and it's holding you back and pushing you in the back. You're never going forward. It's
Yeah.
pulling you
That's
back.
not the guy that if that is the dilemma that a man that you're dating is having, then just don't
Yes.
do that.
Yeah.
Just don't be with that
yeah,
person.
it's going all in with
You,
one.
that shouldn't even have to be a conversation,
Mhm.
honestly. Like that really
Yes.
shouldn't even have to be a discussion.
And like talking about it once, because I the other girl, like I've heard friends, they're like, oh, I won't cut. Like they'll have like other option until they know they're 100% secure.
Mm-hmm.
So like at one point, you both gotta agree. You gotta cut everyone else if you're dating
Yeah.
and dating around. It's like, okay, we're gonna commit to each other.
And that's called commitment.
Yeah.
That's what's important. That's I have an idea. We do have to wrap up. 'Cause
Yeah,
we're out of
yeah,
time
yeah.
here. I have an
Okay.
idea for a dating event. That's actually more of like an experiment than an event, and it covers a lot of this stuff. It's about like finding the right balance between masculine and feminine, and initiating, and the reciprocation, and the back and forth, and then the commitment is like the third part, because that's the scariest part, and that's where most people are 1 foot in, 1 foot out, or
Yeah.
they're not cutting their hose or whatever the case might be. And it's like, no, like you have to learn how to make a commitment, and that's something that like I am adamant about. And commitment's my favorite word in the English language.
Commitment. Yeah.
And like that is really like the main key. And that's why if somebody isn't following through on their word and they're not doing the things that they say they're going to do, that means they're not a committed person. So you can't expect them to cut their hose.
Yeah.
You can't expect them
No.
to commit to you if they
Yeah.
can't commit to like like the right time or the right place or the right thing when it's hard to do
Yes.
so. So this has been awesome. Go for it.
One last one,
Okay, real
bonus.
quick. Yeah.
Just giving you some juice, all the juice I can.
Yeah, I got it.
Just like whenever we ask, sometimes we make, oh, I want like, let's say I'm like a guy, I want a girl, like I want a Barbie, or like the or me, I want a Ken. We ask for all these things.
I got a Barbie.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
you are Barbie and Ken. That is true. But like, let's say you ask for these things, like you want someone that doesn't drink or doesn't party. You also have to be that. You have to date you have to be who you want to date.
Of course.
So it's like, how are you gonna ask all these things, but you are not that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
You are
one.
what you attract.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
again, if you are the light and you are the example, then guess what? You're going to attract the right person who is the light and is the example.
Yeah.
This was fantastic.
Yeah.
You're
Thanks
awesome.
so much. Thank you.
Where can people find you? And maybe just say like a little bit about what you do so that people know like how they can contact you and how they might be able to work with you, I guess.
So this my Instagram, The Life of Ash. I work with many brands, so brand strategy. I do a lot of events, event staffing, and I also coach. So yeah, find me there.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. That was awesome.
And we'll figure out another top 10 list.
Yeah, we'll have plenty more top 10 lists in the
Yeah.
fast. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Bye.
Red by Weed.